Hello all. In today's video we shall discuss about the MySQL queries. Okay, now you open MySQL workbench. As soon as you open the MySQL workbench, this is the interface that you will be able to see. Now choose one of your connection. Okay, now first of all let's see how many databases are present. Let me increase the font size. I hope this will be enough. Okay, uh, select this whole query and click on this will execute this query. Okay, these are the number of the databases. I might not be able to show you this in a higher font size because I can only increase this area as of now. Okay, uh, okay, let's start creating our database. Let's create a database. Okay, now let me add. Okay. As of now I have given some dummy name. You can add whatever the name you want. Okay, let me copy this and click on execute. Now let me refresh this. Even this I might not be able to show you a bit longer, but you understand that over here the DB has been created. Now let's for example, if I want to delete this database, then I have to use this query drop database, and you can just copy paste this database name and you select this and execute this. Now the database has been removed. Okay, now let me recreate it, because as we want the database to create the tables and do some modifications in it. Let me select this and execute this. Now the database has been created. Okay, now let's start table related. Okay, uh, first of all, before we create the table, we have to enter into this database. So to enter into the database, we have to use this query, and just we need to add the database name. By this we'll be entering into this database. Now we are inside this database. Now let's create a table. Okay, this is the query, and you can give the table name whatever the name you want. As of now I'm giving as like students. Okay, and inside this we need to add the columns, right? Okay, so name, this is the name of the column, and as well as we need to provide the type of it. I'm providing as like varchar. Okay, now I don't want this name to be extended more than this 50 characters, so I'm giving the 50. You can give any number, you can give 10, 20, whatever it is suitable to you. Now let me add id as well. Id, it will be int. Okay, integer. Now let me add age. Again this is int. Next let me add roll number. Again this is int. Okay, now let me add l name, last name. Again this is varchar. Okay, let me give some 20. Okay, now let me execute this whole table. Okay, just a second. Nothing, just I have removed the comma from here and it started working. Okay, I have created the table now. Now let me insert some data inside this. But first of all, let's see whether this table has been created or not. Show tables. Okay. I hope you are able to see something over here. This is nothing but the students. Okay, the table which we have created. Now for example, if you want to remove the table, delete the table, right, you can use this query drop table students. Then this will be deleted. Now the table has been deleted. Now let me execute this show tables. Now there is no table name over here. Okay, but let me create the table as we want. the table. Okay, now let's tables. Okay, now the table has been created. Now let's insert some data. To insert the data, we have to use insert into, and we have to add the table name. Okay, now inside this, first we have to provide the column names. Okay, column names are id, name, and what else? Age I have provided. Age. Let me copy from here so that there will not be any spelling mistakes. Okay. Now let me copy this. Okay. Now inside this we need to add values as well, right? For that we shall add values. Now inside this we need to add one by one. Give me this is the int number, right? 1, 2, 3. Phone number is int. Okay, age. Number. Name. Okay. In this way, you can add as many records as you want. Okay. Let me add multiple records, and I'll be back. I have added these many records, and I did run the this query. Now let's see the data inside the tables. Now star in the sense nothing but all the columns we are selected from students. Over here we have to provide the name of the table. Now let me execute. Now see, uh, over here you see as like this is the list which I have added over here. This is the same thing is appearing here. Okay, now let's add a new column. Okay, how we can add the new column? By adding this alter table, and you can mention the table name students. Add whatever the name, some random name I will give, random CLN. The random column name I have given, and as well I need to mention the type of it. So I'm giving varchar. Okay, let me execute this. Now earlier there was a spelling mistake inside this varchar. Okay, now I have executed this query, and the column has been added. Let's see whether it has been added or not. Now if you see, we do have a last column called random column, and inside that we do have some, as we haven't provided any data right now, it is null. Now for example, if I want to delete this column, the same thing I have to do it. Okay, just I need to copy paste, and I need to write as like drop column. That's it. We don't require this type. Okay, just execute this. Now let's see inside this table. See, now the table has been, that means the column has been deleted. Okay, now if you want to see specific columns, like for example just copy this code, this is the same command, but what I have said, this in the star in the sense nothing but all columns. Okay, now instead of this you write the column names you want. Okay, these are the column names which I want to view. Now let me execute. Now see, only those two columns are appear. Okay, now let's add some kind of filtration. Okay, okay, first of all, even for that, let's select all the columns. After selecting, then we need to add the condition. So for the condition we need to add where. Okay, after the where, now for example, if I want to give the age, who is equal to 30. Okay, let's execute. I want to see the records which has the age of 30. Okay, now let me execute, select this whole, and let me execute. Now we will be able to see the whole data which has the 30. Okay, as I have already added all are 30, so I don't see any other. let me do some modification in this data. By that I will be able to discuss about other filters as well. Okay, now I have modified this data. I have added different of ages. Okay, now let me run this now. Now we are getting only one record. Now let's see other filters as well. Like, right now I'm adding, if age is not equal to 30, show me those records. Now select this, let me execute this. Now these are the records which age has not 30, not equal to 30. Okay, now let me add one thing. The same way we can add even for the greater than symbol, greater than or equal to. You can execute this. Now these are the records which are greater than or equal to 30. Now in the same way we can add less than. All these things you can add. Now for example, if I want to add a filter, like, assume like if this text is present in that specific column or not. For example, right now I'm adding this, and I will choose a column like name, and I will add like. Now inside this I will add percentage symbol, and inside that I will add something like this. Okay, if any of the name consists of this al, then return those records. Now let me select this and execute this. Now as of now we do have only one record. Now let me do one a. Now we do have these many records which has a. Okay, in this way not only one condition, we can as well provide multiple conditions. Like for example, I can provide and I can mention like I want to see if age greater than 25 or not. Okay, let me execute this. See, now I got these records which satisfies this both condition, and in the sense even this has to become true and as well as this has to become true. Okay, only those records are going to appear. Now let me add one more filtration. Now here, over here, either this condition has to be satisfied or else this condition, any one condition has to be satisfied, then the records will appear. Now these are the records which satisfied any one of these condition. Okay, now let's see how we can update a specific value. Okay, now for that we have to use update. Have to use update. Now we have to write the name of the name of the table. Then we have to write set. Then we have to write the name column. That means which column you want to edit, and what's the value you want to give. As of now, I want to change this. For example, over here it's name IRA, right? So let me change that to QU. Okay, okay, I'm giving this name. Okay, now, so, okay, first let me make you clear one thing about the flow. This is the all the records. Okay, in this records, for example, if I want to edit this specific value, then what I have to do, first of all, I need to identify this row. Once after identifying this row, then I need to go into this column, and afterwards I will be able to edit this value, right? So for that, what we are doing is, to identifying the row, we have to add this equal to 3. Okay, now what we are saying, in the row, in the column name, edit this. Okay, replace that with this value. Okay, this is what we are saying over here. Now let's execute. Okay, actually I was facing some issue, like I need to edit my preferences. I will show you what's the thing which I did. It is saying like I need to go to the edit, and I need to go to the preferences, and in the preferences I need to go to the SQL editor, and at the bottom we're gonna see save update. This we need to uncheck it, and we need to restart our whole database again. So that's what I did. Then afterwards it started working. Okay, now let's see. Right now what I did, I have updated this name, right? So let me Let me execute all the. Now if you see over here, the name has been updated. Okay, now let's go to another query. Now for example, let me copy this. Okay, now for example, if I want to see these things in a order, okay, like for example, age 30, age to 15, 29, these are not in proper order. For example, I want to see them in ascending order. Okay, now I need to just add. I need to select this all the first of all I need to select the table. I need to select all the columns. Then we need to add this order by for the column called age. Now let's execute this. Now these all got ordered in ascending order. For example, the same thing if you want to do it for the descending order, you can just add DAC and you can just execute this, and this got reordered in the descending order. Okay, the same thing you can as well do it for another column name. For example, I want to do it for the name column. You can just execute this. Now it got ordered in a descending way. Okay, now for example, if you want to know total what's the count of all these records, now for that just we need to add this query, count query. Okay, just we are adding this count, and as well as we are mentioning the column name. Okay, now let's execute this. Now total we do have 7 records. Okay, now in the same way you can add max. For example, I want to know what's the maximum age. You can add max. Okay, the maximum age is of 55. This is what it's showing. So you can add max, minimum, sum, average, all these things you can do it. Okay, now for example, if I want to first of all let me show you the whole table again. Now we do have the name column, but I want to convert this whole name column to the uppercase. So now for that, let's do same as like this. What we did for the count, the same thing we're gonna do it. Instead of the max, what we are doing, just adding the upper, and as well as just we are adding the column name. That's it. Okay, now let's execute this. Now see, all the column names have been converted to the uppercase. Okay, now we have to do one thing, that is called joining the two tables. Okay, to join the two tables, first of all we required two tables, right? So before that I want to clarify you two things. One is primary key and one more is foreign key. Okay, now first of all you consider something like this. There are two tables. Okay, the first table is the main table and the second table is the related to the first table. Okay, now there will be one, that was the first point. Okay, now the second point which you have to remember is one column will be the common for both the tables. Okay, now for the main table we're gonna have called primary key, and the next second column which is related to the first column, over there we are going to have the foreign key. Okay, I will explain you what is this. Okay, now okay, what it is like, I have dropped this students table because I cannot edit in this directly. So first of all I need to delete that table. So right now what I have said, this is our main table. Okay, this is our first table and the main table, and second table we will create it. Okay, now we have to add the primary key. We have to select any one of the column as a primary key. So that column will be the ID, because this is unique. This ID will be unique. Okay, and as well this is the main table. That's why we are making this this as primary key. Okay, now for that, okay, what we have to do is like, just we need to add this, right? By adding this we are saying like, now ID is the primary key for this table. Okay, now let me execute this. Okay, I have executed this. Now as I have deleted the whole table, I won't be having even the data, so I'm reinserting it. Okay, I have inserted it. Now let me create second table. Okay, under this itself I'll create. For the second table I'll have like merit students, and ID will be there, and the name will be there. Age, I don't want to give the age. I don't want to give the roll number. I want to give ranking of the students. Okay, this will be the integer. Okay, now this is the second table, right? So for this we need to provide the foreign key. Foreign key will be the nothing but this itself, but we are going to mention this as like foreign key. Okay, foreign key. And as well as right now, though we have given this foreign key, but this table has to identify, right? Okay, this table is belongs to which, like what's the first table. Okay, for that we have to provide the reference as well. References are the students. Okay, now by this it will be okay. Now by this it will be able to identify that this foreign key is belongs to this students table, column name called ID. This is what now it will think. Okay, now let me create this table. Now the table, second table has been created. Now let me insert some data in the second table. Okay, let me copy this table name, paste here. Okay, now I have inserted data as well inside this second table. Okay, now let's see the data. Okay, let me execute this. Now this is the data which I have added in the second column. Sorry, second table. Okay, now let's join this. Okay, to join, first of all we need to select all columns, and we need to select which table, and with what we have to join. We have to join with the merit students. Now on based on which condition, right now we have taken primary key and foreign key, right? Based on that, okay, based on that we are going to do it. Okay, now let me execute this. Now let me try to expand this. Okay, now here we do have the first table along with the second table. Now these both columns, sorry, these both tables got joined. Okay, now let me show you one more thing, but before that let me add some data. I want to show you the left join. Okay, for that let me add some data in this. Let me add some data and I'll get that to you. Okay, now I have added some new data inside the students. Okay, now if you see the new list of the students are like this. Now earlier we had 7 records, now we have nine records. Okay, now let's see how this left join will work. Okay, this was our just simple copy paste this whole, nothing much to change. Copy paste this whole. I will explain you what's mean by left join. Okay, just add. Okay, now what has happened over here is, now in the table 2 we do have only 7 records, but in the table 1 we have total 9 records. Okay, now it has combined whole, but coming to the left, what has happened is it has picked every record, but coming to the uh, on the second column it has picked everything, but for the whatever the rows which it doesn't has, okay, for that it has provided null. Okay, this is the difference between join in the lecture. I hope you have understood this whole video. Thank you for watching this video.